Due to time constraints, we now move forward in the action.
Look at DJ Shockley, quarterback draw. Shockley across the 50, and he steps out of bounds at the 41-yard line. And did you see how quickly he covered 26 yards?
Well, LSU comes with the blitz on third down. No surprise there. Two guys coming clean, but I forgot DJ Shockley's at quarterback. He can pull it down and giddy up.
Man, he covered 26 yards in a quick hurry.
He is so quick. I mean, really accelerates so quickly. Those blitzers never had a chance.
78 yards of offense for DJ Shockley in very limited time today. Shockley back to pass. He's being rushed and he goes down. He dishes it off to Ware though before he goes down. And Ware is able to battle for a couple of yards. Ends up being a 4-yard loss on the play as Claude Roten got to DJ Shockley, but Shockley going down shoveled it off to Ware. Said, you take it.
They must have been working on that. You saw David Green do it in the first quarter. Now Shockley, must be a drill they're working on. Bobo's got him working with it at practice. Actually, it saved 5-6 yards there, getting rid of the football and letting the running back try to pick up something.
I think the officials actually missed it. It looked like to me like Shockley's knee was down before he got rid of it. So Georgia may have gotten a little bit of a break there. Handoff goes to Ware. Ware wrapped up by Roten and about 7 other Tigers players.
Well, you got to run some clock. To do that, you got to run the football. May not be pretty.
3rd down and 12. Georgia in no hurry to saddle up and ride here. They're running the play clock down as far as they can, as close to 0 before snapping the ball. Georgia with a 4-touchdown lead. Shockley out of the shotgun. They'll hum it over to the far side, and it's caught by Reggie Brown. Let's see, they're going to say that he did not hold on to it. I tell you what, they ought to give him that just on effort because he took a shot in the kidneys.
DJ a little flutter on it. He tried to stick it in there, and you see the ground causes the ball to come loose. He had the football.
Yep. Fortunately, he didn't take a shot in the kidneys. It was more on his backside than right in the back.
He's going to feel that tomorrow.
They say that the ground can't cause a fumble, and that's exactly what looked like happened, though. So maybe Georgia caught a break because you either have to rule it an incompletion or a fumble, I think.
Ice it down tonight, Reggie, and do the Whirlpool steam thing on Sunday. You'll be fine early in the week.
So Ely Kelso stands at his 43 to punt. Skylar Green at the 10 for LSU. He hasn't had much of a chance to return them today. Kelso aims for the corner. Skylar Green will let it hit over his head. It's going to go out of bounds, and let's see where they mark it. They're going to spot it at the 17. Georgia crowd not necessarily pleased with that spot, but that's where LSU's going to get it nonetheless. 12:05 to play in this ball game with Georgia leading LSU 38-10 on CSS, your source for Southeast sports. 1st and 10 for LSU. They have the ball at the 17-yard line. Russell back to pass. Fires complete the bow. He gets by 1 man, and then Derek White, the linebacker, chases him down at the 30-yard line. A gain of 13 and a 1st down.
You can see the big-time talent Jamarcus Russell possesses. God-given ability in the size, 6'6", and you see the arm strength. That ball got out there in a hurry.
Derek White started today in place of Arnold Harrison at Sam linebacker. Harrison bothered by a bruised left shoulder. An injury he suffered against Marshall. I haven't seen him out there today. 1st and 10. Broken up. Tim Jennings and Odell Thurman hit Dwayne Bowe as soon as the ball got there.
Odell's going to make him pay, and that's the way it should be with those receivers coming across that middle like that. Ball's on the money, but you know he's taking a peek at 33 coming at him. Ouch. Tim Jennings right there, tight coverage by Tim, and you see 33. He's going to muscle up on somebody. You can bet on that.
Second down and 10 now with the ball at the 30. Wilkerson's back in there at center. So apparently whatever happened to his left knee was not that serious. Handoff to a die, and a die gets tackled from behind by David Pollock and Quentin Moses.
Pollock's relentless. He never gives an inch. Playing in pain today, but flat out getting the job done. He's had a block kick, a cause fumble, quarterback pressures left and right, and always in pursuit of the ball carrier.
Third down and 8 with the ball at the 32. Georgia 385 yards of offense in this ball game. Russell gets hit by Quentin Moses and dropped for a quarterback sack. The redshirt sophomore out of Cedar Shoals High School in Athens, Georgia, with the quarterback sack, and it's fourth down.
And he comes off the corner. Those big offensive tackles have problems with these good athletes that Georgia have at defensive end. That speed rush. Tough for those big fellas to get out there and block them.
That's the second quarterback sack for Quentin Moses today, and now LSU has to punt from their own 22, and Jackson stands at his 9-yard line. Tim Jennings, fair catch, called for at the 40. And that's where Georgia will put the ball in play with 9:58 to play in this game, and Georgia leading by 4 scores. Timeout on the field. You're watching CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Due to time constraints, we now move forward in the action.
Seems like everybody is.
He's the highest paid coach in football.
And off to Brown. Look what Brown can do for you. Down to the 15-yard line.
And Matt, I bet you saw that watching Tucker High School play the last few years. This guy lit him up at the high school level. And boy, he looked good right here, didn't he? I mean, he gets in the gallop.
Man, he hit that sideline and was off to the races. Big gain for Thomas Brown. That puts him at 73 yards for the afternoon and puts Georgia right down there close to pushing it in the end zone again.
I like the line, too. What can Brown do for you?
Maybe I ought to market that. Someone could probably use that in an advertising campaign or slogan or something. Hand off to Brown. Landry made the tackle that time. He picked up 3 on the play.
And you know, that's impressive, 3 yards there. I mean, he's hit by 2 guys at the line of scrimmage. And he checks in. It says 185. I'd love to see that with him stepping on the scales.
225 yards rushing against LSU today. This is very similar to what LSU did to Georgia's defense in the SEC championship game back in December, where they just shredded them and ran right through them. Georgia's done that to LSU today.
You know, and the credit's got to go to the offensive line. We talk about the running backs, and you know, they look smooth out there, but this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage in this game.
Second down and 7, hand off to Jeremy Thomas. Thomas down to the 9-yard line, and he picked up a couple on the play.
Rowland, Jones, Tanner, Gene Gillis, Inman. You've seen Velasco, Shackelford get some time in there today. Some big boys in there. They've even got big old Chester Adams in there from Alabama, that big old freshman.
Laverne, Alabama High School. 330 pounds. LSU jumped offside. Hand off to Brown, and he gets tripped up by Buckles, the linebacker. But there's going to be a 5-yard mark off against LSU.
Yeah, that's the free 5. veteran quarterback should get you a couple of those every game. Snap count, voice inflection, some of the intangibles that make you an outstanding quarterback.
Bulldogs have brought their security team out here, but I don't think there's
contact by number 95 of the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Kyle Williams, number 95,
Third
steps
down.
across, way across. Apparently made some contact, because you can step across it as long as you don't make contact, and he did make some contact, they said. But the security force is kind of lining the field now, but I don't think there's any danger of the Georgia fans rushing the field today.
Yeah, I wouldn't think. And if they wanted to rush the field, that security group wasn't going to stop them.
No. But I think that's kind of a statement of where Georgia fans feel they are. This is a big win, but certainly not one that you're going to go out there and tear the goalpost down over.
Yeah, it makes next week's game even bigger, doesn't it?
Timeout. LSU, their second of this half.
First and goal to go for Georgia following the timeout by LSU. 7.5 minutes to play in this game. Georgia trying to punch it in. Jeremy Thomas. Handoff goes to Thomas Brown. Thomas Brown down to the 1-yard line. Travis Daniels, the cornerback, made the tackle. And now it's second down and goal. Bulldogs trying to become just the third team since Nick Saban took over as head coach to go over 40 points.
Look at Jeremy Thomas. Take that defensive back and slam him out of bounds. I mean, that's a fullback that wants to block somebody right there.
Well, when you don't get a whole lot of touches of the ball, you got to find a way to satisfy yourself on the football field. And for Jeremy Thomas and Des Williams, that's hitting people. And they're both in there right now in Georgia's power formation. Hand off to Thomas Brown, and he drives for the touchdown.
Wow.
That is the first rushing touchdown that LSU has given up all season. And it gives Georgia a 44-10 lead. Thomas Brown with his second collegiate touchdown.
And that little fella from Tucker,
he's got some power in his legs.
He really does. Gosh, he can't be 180 pounds, and watch the power. He sees it and he runs over that linebacker from LSU that weighs 240-something pounds. That's Walton.
Andy Bailey pops it through. 6:36 to play in this ball game. And yes, it looks like the Georgia Bulldogs have gotten their revenge. A 45-10 lead on LSU. Here on CSS, your source for Southeast sports.
Due to time constraints, we now move forward in the action.
Jarvis hasn't had a whole lot of field time today. Firing to the far sideline, complete to Bo, and Bo is knocked out of bounds by Paul Oliver. First down. Georgia fans filing out. It'll be an easy ride home tonight.
Yeah, they'll be happy heading home, and they'll be pumped up again next week when Tennessee shows up.
Tennessee playing later on tonight against the Auburn Tigers. One of those teams will finish this evening still undefeated. First and 10 with the ball at the 47. Randall throwing on the run over the head of Dwayne Bowe at the 40-yard line. Stopping the clock with 2:49 to play. Georgia and Tennessee coming up next Saturday. That's one of 5 games for Georgia out of their first 6 that they will play at home. LSU's in the middle of a 3 out of 4 stretch in which they play on the road. They'll have to travel to Florida next week to take on the Gators, who put a hurting on Arkansas today. Complete to Bowe. He fumbled the ball and then caught it in midair.
Now, is that legal?
He lateraled forward to himself.
Trying to pick up the first down.
And he did. He did get the first down.
Again, Georgia backs in zone, playing off the line of scrimmage, giving them the underneath stuff.
First and 10 with the ball at 35. LSU trying to put some points on the board here, make it a little bit more respectable for themselves. Pass complete to Doucette down to the 16-yard line. LSU racking up a lot of yards here for their final total, but that's about it. Bulldogs playing all reserves at this point.
All teenagers.
Complete to Bo. Bo down to the 2-yard line. Tackle was made by, that was Keelan Johnson. Keelan Johnson, freshman out of Daytona Beach, Florida. Richard Cook out of Washington Wilkes High School in Tignall, Georgia's in the ball game. There's Paul Oliver out of Harrison High School in Kennesaw, Georgia. Randall fires, and it's a touchdown. Touchdown to Xavier Carter. Xavier Carter with the touchdown catch, and that makes it 45-16. Xavier Carter with a little bit of a chance to redeem himself after a big boo-boo in this game in which he downed the kickoff at the 1-yard line.
You're going to hear a lot of big things out of him in the years to come. There's probably an LSU fan somewhere saying, why didn't they do this earlier in the game?
Well, they weren't going against Georgia's second and third teamers earlier in the game.
And they weren't in that prevent.
And they missed another extra point, so they keep their streak alive. That is now 4 straight games in which they've missed a PAT.
The year of the extra point for LSU.
Due to time constraints, we now move forward in the action.
The same mold. I don't see, I see the same kind of thing happening to Thomas Davis in the NFL draft.
Yeah, there's so much talk about number 10 being such a physical tackler, but I tell you, he can run. You saw him run down and dive there on that screen pass.
Yeah, well, like Sean Taylor, I mean, he has the speed of a defensive back, and he has the hitting and closing ability and tackling ability of a linebacker.
And he competes like nobody's business.
Sure. McClendon in motion behind the line of scrimmage. Shockley hands off to Tony Milton. Milton brought down from behind by Ryan Willis, sophomore out of New Orleans. As Sanford Stadium really starting to clear out now as the clock is under a minute to play. Georgia's going to be 4-0.
Well, these fans want to get home and scout Tennessee.
Better drive fast or have a helicopter to fly over the traffic. Clock running down, and the Georgia fans stand at their feet and cheer. Georgia's going to be 2-0 in the SEC. LSU's going to drop to 1-2 in the conference, and their chances of repeating as the Western Division champions severely dented here. Especially going on the road next week and playing at Florida.
Well, I came in thinking 2 things. Number 1, Georgia's defense had to stuff the run. They only give up 67 yards. And offensively, they had to make some big plays. I counted 9 of them today by the Georgia offense.
A tremendous victory for the Georgia Bulldogs as they avenge their loss in the SEC championship game a year ago, clobbering the LSU Tigers by a final score of 45-16. Next up, the Tennessee Volunteers. Our producer has been Steve Graham, our director Mark Jones, and now for my partner Buck Ballou and the entire CSS crew, I'm Matt Stewart. So long from Sanford Stadium in Athens, Georgia.